There comes a moment in your life when you realize something uncomfortable. Being nice is no longer keeping you safe. It's draining your energy, it's stealing your time, and slowly it's erasing who you are. You feel it, that pressure inside your chest, that moment when you know you should speak, but you don't. When you know what needs to change, but you choose silence instead. Every time you step back, a piece of you goes quiet. The part that knows you're capable of more. The part that's tired of pretending. Niccolò Machiavelli didn't teach people how to be cruel. He taught them how to stop being foolish. This video is about crossing the line most people see, but never step over. It's about the version of you waiting on the other side. The one you think about when you're alone. The one who doesn't explain. The one who doesn't bend. The one who simply moves. You're scared of that version, and now we're going to break down why. Before we begin, comment this below. I choose myself first. Your mind crossed the line first. There's something you need to admit to yourself. You already know what to do. You've played it out in your head more times than you can count. The conversation, the moment, the decision. You know exactly what you should say. You know where you should stand. You know when you should walk away. In your mind, you are already confident, already calm, already firm. You imagine yourself speaking clearly, not raising your voice, not apologizing, just stating the truth and standing in it. And in those imagined moments, people respect you. They listen, they adjust, but then real life shows up, and suddenly your throat tightens, your heart speeds up, your mind starts negotiating. You think, maybe this isn't the right time. Maybe I should explain more. Maybe I'll deal with it later. So instead of saying no, you say, we'll see. Instead of walking away, you stay. Instead of holding the line, you bend it. That space between who you think you are and how you act, that's where your fear lives. Niccolò Machiavelli understood something most people avoid. Thinking strong thoughts does nothing if your actions don't follow. Planning power without using it is just a dream. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Your mind is already ahead of your body. You have already crossed the line internally. You already see the version of yourself that doesn't hesitate. You already know how it feels to stop explaining. But you're scared to bring that version into real life, because once you do, things change. People notice, dynamics shift, some respect you more, some don't like it at all. Right now you're living in two worlds. In your thoughts you feel strong, in your actions you stay safe. That gives you comfort without consequence, but it also keeps you stuck, because every time you act smaller than the person you know you are, you teach yourself a dangerous lesson, that you're not ready yet, but the gap isn't big. It's just visible, and the moment you take one action that matches your inner strength, the split disappears. You don't wait to feel ready. You move, and readiness follows. That's how power begins. Your silence is useful totas. There are people in your life who are very comfortable with the way you are right now, not because they truly understand you, not because they truly understand you, not because they deeply respect you, but because your current version works for them. They are used to your availability. They are used to your patience. They are used to you saying yes, even when you feel no. They are used to you adjusting. And here's the part most people miss. They don't need you to be weak. They just need you to stay predictable. Your silence keeps things smooth. Your hesitation keeps things familiar. Your self-doubt keeps the balance in their favor. They may not even realize it. They're not sitting somewhere planning to control you. But unconsciously, they've built their comfort around your compliance. Niccolò Machiavelli saw this pattern everywhere. He noticed how systems survive by keeping people in fixed roles, and how discomfort appears the moment someone steps out of line. Your life works the same way, just quieter. The friend who only calls when they need something benefits from you not setting limits. The person who talks over you benefits from you not trusting your voice. The one who decides for you benefits from you not deciding for yourself. When you start to change, something shifts. And when something shifts, people feel it. Suddenly you're different. Suddenly you're not like before. Suddenly there's tension where there used to be ease. This is where most people panic. They feel the pushback and immediately assume they're wrong. They wonder if they're being selfish. They question whether they should go back to how things were. But here's the truth. You're not afraid of becoming stronger. You're afraid of what strength creates. Discomfort, resistance, conflict. You're afraid of being questioned, of being misunderstood, of being seen as the problem. And yes, that fear makes sense. Conflict doesn't feel good. Being misunderstood hurts. But shrinking yourself to avoid that pain is choosing someone else's comfort over your own life. Every time you stay quiet to keep the peace, you trade a piece of yourself for temporary calm. And that trade always costs more than you think. Growth has a price. It breaks old patterns. It ends unspoken agreements. It disrupts dynamics built on you being less. Some people will resist not because you're doing something wrong, but because your growth forces them to adjust. And most people hate adjusting. Their discomfort is not a sign you're failing. It's proof that something real is changing. Their reaction is not your responsibility. Their adjustment is their work. Your job is not to stay small so others feel stable. Your job is to become who you're meant to be. So if stepping into your power feels uncomfortable, if it feels like you're upsetting the balance, that's not a warning, that's confirmation. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My growth matters more than comfort. One move makes it real. You can understand power perfectly and still have none. You can read, you can think, you can analyze yourself endlessly, but nothing changes until people see something different. Power does not live in your thoughts, it lives in what becomes visible. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this clearly. He didn't focus on ideas that stayed hidden. He focused on actions that could not be ignored. Because if no one sees your strength, it might as well not exist. This is where most people get stuck. They tell themselves they're working on it. They say they're almost ready. They promise they'll act soon. Soon becomes weeks. Weeks become months, and nothing moves. Here's the shift you need to understand. Power doesn't start with a full transformation. It starts with one visible move. Not 10, not a dramatic speech, not burning everything down. One boundary you don't soften. One moment where you don't explain yourself. One time you walk away instead of staying quiet. One situation where you choose yourself in front of others. That single move changes everything, because once it happens, it cannot be undone. People see it, they remember it, and most importantly, you remember it. You can't pretend anymore. You can't tell yourself you're the same person. You've shown proof. This is why hesitation feels safe. As long as you don't act, you can still go back. You can still be the old version if things get uncomfortable. But once you move publicly, there is no reverse button. And that's terrifying because it means commitment. It means you can't live halfway anymore. It means you can't keep one foot in safety and one foot in growth. But here's what people don't tell you. The fear you feel right now is not fear of the action, it's fear of deciding. Fear of crossing a line that makes your identity real. Once you act, the fear doesn't grow, it shrinks. Because uncertainty dies the moment something becomes real. Your heart will race the first time, your body will shake, your mind will warn you of every possible outcome. Do it anyway. The first move is the hardest because it breaks the pattern. The second move feels lighter. By the third or fourth, it feels natural. That's when you realize something important. The person you were afraid to become is not aggressive, not cruel, not dangerous. They are simply someone who values themselves. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Perfect moments don't exist. You act first, then confidence follows. You set the boundary, then you learn to hold it. You walk away, then you learn how to stand alone. You speak up, then you learn how to handle reactions. Action teaches what thinking never can, so ask yourself this honestly. What is the one move you've been avoiding because it would make your change visible? That's the move. Do it scared. Do it imperfectly. but do it, because once you make it, everything else starts aligning behind it. Strength is not cruelty. This is where many people stop themselves. They feel the pull to become more direct, more firm, more grounded. And then a thought appears. If I do this, I'll become cold. If I stand my ground, I'll hurt people. If I stop explaining, I'll turn into someone I don't like. So instead of growing stronger, they stay quiet. They confuse weakness with kindness. But strength and cruelty are not the same thing. Niccolò Machiavelli was misunderstood for this reason. People said he taught people to be heartless. What he actually taught was control. Control over emotion, control over reaction, control over decision-making. Being strong does not mean shutting off your heart. It means not letting emotion run your life. You can care deeply and still say no. You can be kind and still walk away. You can respect someone and still protect your time. Think about what happens when someone crosses your boundaries. If you're emotionally driven, you do one of two things. You explode and regret it, or you stay silent and build resentment. In both cases, emotion is in control. Strength looks different. Strength pauses. Strength speaks calmly. Strength makes decisions based on what is right, not what is comfortable. When you stop letting people take advantage of you, they may say you changed. When you stop explaining yourself, they may call you cold. When you start choosing yourself, they may accuse you of being selfish. But those labels are not truth. They are reactions. You were taught something dangerous. You were taught that being firm is unkind, that having standards is harsh, that protecting your peace is selfish. Those beliefs keep you manageable. Real strength is knowing the difference between being cruel and being clear, between being mean and being honest. The Prince is often quoted for one line: "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." People misunderstand this. It does not mean hurt people. It means do not let your need to be liked make you weak. Respect lasts longer than approval. Here is the shift you must make. Not everyone deserves access to you. Your time matters. Your energy matters. Your attention matters. If someone drains you, distance is allowed. If someone disrespects you, removal is allowed. That doesn't make you bad. It makes you someone who values themselves. And here's the truth most people discover too late. When you stop bending for everyone, you don't become colder. You become more real. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You show up honestly. Strength and warmth are not enemies. They work together. You can be generous and still protected. You can be open and still selective. Use your heart wisely. Give it where it's respected. Comment this affirmation below: "Strength protects my peace. Comfort dies when you rise." This is the part no one warns you about. When you step into your power, you don't just gain something, you lose something too. Not everything, but something very specific. You lose a version of comfort that only existed when you stayed small. There are people in your life who care about you, but only within limits. They like the version of you that doesn't challenge them, the version that adjusts, the version that stays predictable. When you stop playing that role, something changes. Their tone shifts, their warmth cools, their attention fades, and it hurts because you didn't attack them, you didn't insult them, you didn't do anything wrong, you just grew. Niccolò Machiavelli saw this pattern clearly. He watched people step into authority and immediately lose allies, not because they became cruel, but because they stopped pretending. The same thing happens in your life, quietly. The person who felt important when you needed them feels unnecessary when you become self-sufficient. The person who felt superior when you doubted yourself feels threatened when you trust your judgment. The person who enjoyed your flexibility feels uncomfortable when you gain boundaries, so they pull back. And that moment can confuse you. You start asking yourself questions. Was I too harsh? Did I change too much? Should I go back to how I was? This is where many people retreat. They miss the familiarity. They miss the easy connection. They miss being liked without effort. even when that affection was conditional. Here's the truth you need to hear. Affection that only exists when you stay small is not real support. Real support adjusts. Real support grows with you. Real support may struggle at first, but it doesn't punish you for becoming stronger. If someone only showed you warmth when you were easy to manage, that wasn't love, that was convenience. And losing convenience hurts, not because it was healthy, but because it was familiar. Power always breaks old comforts. You cannot rise and keep every version of connection intact. Some people will leave, some relationships will fade, some doors will close. That's not failure, that's alignment. Because the ones who stay, they meet the real you. No performance, no shrinking, no role-playing. And the people who enter your life later, they meet you at your true level. Strong, clear, grounded. Yes, there will be a gap, a quiet space between losing the old and finding the new. That space can feel lonely, but it doesn't last forever. On the other side of it are relationships built on respect, not control. On the other side is a version of you that no longer trades truth for comfort. So if stepping into your power costs you certain connections, understand this. You didn't lose something real. You let go of something that required you to disappear. Comment this affirmation below. Real support celebrates growth. Excellence becomes your filter. Real power doesn't shout. It doesn't rush to defend itself. It doesn't react to everything. It pauses. It watches. It chooses. Most people live in reaction. Something happens. They respond immediately. Someone speaks. They explain. A situation appears. They jump in. It's automatic. But when you step into your power, that pattern breaks. You stop treating everything as if it deserves your energy. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this deeply. He observed leaders who tried to answer every criticism, every rumor, every challenge. They burned out. The ones who lasted were selective. They knew which battles mattered and which ones were just noise. That's the shift you begin to make. You stop reacting by default. You start deciding. Someone says something to provoke you. Old, you would respond instantly. Defend, explain, prove. New, you pauses. You ask one question: does this deserve my energy? Most of the time the answer is no, so you stay silent. Not because you're afraid, not because you don't have words, but because engagement would give them control. Silence becomes your filter. It separates what matters from what doesn't. This doesn't mean you stop speaking. It means you stop wasting words. You engage deeply with what aligns with who you're becoming, and you let everything else pass. Drama that doesn't involve you, opinions that don't matter, conversations that go nowhere. You don't announce your exit. You don't explain. You simply move on. And when people notice that they can't provoke you anymore, they react. Some respect it. Others test you harder. They push your buttons. They say things louder. They try to pull you back into reaction. This is the real test, because staying calm while someone is actively trying to disturb you is next-level strength. You don't match their emotion. You don't lower yourself to their tone. You hold your position and let them exhaust themselves. Eventually, they stop, because there is no reward in provoking someone who doesn't respond. This is when your life gets quieter. Not because nothing happens, but because you stop feeding chaos. Your energy becomes protected, your focus sharpens, you engage where it matters, you ignore what doesn't. The prince describes this balance as strength with intelligence, knowing when to act and when to remain still. This doesn't make you cold, it makes you intentional. Your silence isn't weakness, it's control. Comment this affirmation below. My energy is selective. Commitment kills fear. Everything comes down to this: not knowledge, not preparation, not motivation. Decision. Fear does not survive in action. Fear survives in indecision. As long as you are halfway in, fear has room to speak. It shows you worst-case outcomes. It reminds you of what you might lose. It keeps you stuck between who you are and who you could be. That space, the in-between, is where anxiety lives. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this clearly. He believed half choices fail. That power requires commitment. The same is true for your life. You cannot be the old version and the new version at the same time. If you try, you'll feel unstable, you'll second-guess every move. You'll question yourself constantly, but the moment you decide fully, something changes. Not because risk disappears, but because uncertainty does. You stop asking, "Should I do this?" You already did, and once that decision is made, your mind stops fighting itself. You feel calm, not because everything is easy, but because you are no longer divided. This is what most people misunderstand about fear. They think fear is about failure, about rejection, about loss. It's not. Fear is about the moment you stop considering and start committing, the moment you stop testing the water and step in completely. Yes, that moment is intense. It feels final, because it is. But that finality is freedom. Once you commit, you don't have to keep deciding. You just act. You set the boundary. Once, you speak up. Once, you walk away. Once. And after that, you become the person who does those things. Even if it doesn't go perfectly, you gain something priceless. Certainty. You know who you are. You know what you stand for. And knowing is always better than wandering. Staying stuck guarantees one thing: regret. So here is your instruction. Stop hovering. Stop half-changing. Stop preparing without moving. Decide. Decide that you are becoming the person you've been afraid to become. Then act like it. Not loudly, not dramatically, just clearly, just firmly. Set the boundary. Set the boundary. Make the move. Choose yourself. Do it once. Do it fully. Because once you do, fear loses its power. The version of you that hesitated disappears, and the person you were afraid of becoming is simply you, finally choosing yourself. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I commit fully now. You've reached the edge for a reason, so don't look back. Step forward and change everything. You're afraid because becoming that person ends compromise. No more over-explaining, no more shrinking, no more living last. That door closes, and it should. On the other side is the real you, the one who moves with intention, the one who refuses to be controlled. You're not here by accident. This resonates because you're close, so step forward, choose yourself, and change everything.